Studies suggest your joints lose up to 6% of their protective fluid every year after 50. By 65, half your cushion is gone. That grinding when you stand? The shuffle from your bed to the bathroom. The knee that talks back when you take the stairs. That is not aging. That is drainage. Your joints are running dry. And no one told you why. Researchers at Stanford Medicine identified something inside your body that explains everything. An enzyme you have never heard of. It does not heal. It does not protect. It dismantles. And it has been multiplying since your 40th birthday. When was the last time you walked down a flight of stairs without thinking about your knees? Do you even remember what that feels like? There is a morning drink that costs less than a cup of coffee. It is probably sitting in your kitchen right now. 3 fruits. Blended together. Stanford researchers found it can plug the leak and rebuild what you have lost. But first, you need to understand what is actually happening inside your joints. Because this is not just getting old. There is an enzyme, one you have never heard of, that is actively sabotaging your body and Oppo's ability to repair itself. It is called 15-PGDH. And by the time I explain what it does, you will understand why everything you have tried has not worked. But before I show you what stops it, you need to understand what is actually happening inside your joints right now. Because this is not wear and tear. There is a demolition crew inside you. And it has a name. The enzyme is called 15-PGDH. Scientists call it a gerozyme, from the Greek word for old age. Think of your joint as an engine. The synovial fluid inside is the oil. It prevents metal from grinding against metal. It absorbs shock. It keeps the machine silent and smooth. Now picture a seal, a gasket, that keeps that oil locked inside the chamber. That seal is made of hyaluronic acid. And the 15-PGDH enzyme is rust eating through it. Every year you age, more rust accumulates. More holes appear in the gasket. More oil leaks out. The Stanford team documented this in the Aging Cell Journal. They measured the accumulation. They watched the repair mechanism collapse. Your body has construction crews called chondrocyte. Their job is to rebuild cartilage, to patch the damage, to keep the machine running. But the 15-PGDH enzyme attacks those crews. It breaks down the scaffolding before they can even start building. 40% drop in synovial fluid by age 65. Let that number land. 40%. That is not a gradual decline. That is your body abandoning ship. And here is what your doctor never told you. Glucosamine does not touch this enzyme. Turmeric does not touch this enzyme. Anti-inflammatory drugs reduce the heat, but the rust keeps spreading. You are treating the fever while the infection multiplies. What Stanford learned 15 years ago has not reached general practice yet. The research sits in peer-reviewed journals while patients swallow pills that mask the symptom and ignore the cause. Dr. Name saw this pattern in 5,000 patients over 2 decades. Inflammation is the smoke. The enzyme is the fire. You know the enemy now. You know its name. You know what it is doing. The question is whether you can stop it. The answer is yes. And it starts with a smoothie that costs less than a cup of coffee. The compound is called naringenin. It is a flavonoid found in citrus fruit. Think of it as a biological sealant. It does not just add more oil to the engine. It plugs the hole in the gasket so your body can refill the tank itself. The Journal of Biological Chemistry documented how naringenin directly inhibits the breakdown of hyaluronic acid, the very substance the 15-PGDH enzyme targets. One study showed a 35% increase in synovial fluid markers. 35% improvement in synovial fluid markers. Not in years. In weeks. From a fruit you probably walked past at the grocery store this morning. Here is the exact protocol. 1 whole orange. Include the pith, that white layer between the peel and the flesh. That is where the naringenin concentrates. Half a grapefruit. Include the membrane. 1 banana for texture and potassium to support muscle function around the joint. Blend with 8 ounces of water. Nothing else. Consume it in the morning on an empty stomach. Absorption is highest before food competes for uptake. Wait 30 minutes before coffee. One critical warning. If you take statin medication for cholesterol, grapefruit can interfere with how your liver processes the drug. Consult your physician before adding grapefruit to your routine. This is not optional. This is pharmacology. The second weapon is tart cherry juice. The active compounds are anthocyanins. They attack a different front, uric acid. When uric acid crystallizes, it deposits in your joints like shards of glass embedded in the cartilage. The anthocyanins dissolve those crystals and lower systemic inflammation markers. The dosage is 8 ounces daily. Critical detail: consume within 20 minutes of opening the bottle. Anthocyanins oxidize rapidly. Exposure to air degrades the compound. An open bottle in your refrigerator for 3 days is delivering a fraction of the benefit. If tart cherry juice is unavailable in your region, hibiscus tea delivers the same anthocyanin profile. Steep dried flowers for 10 minutes. Consume unsweetened. Pomegranate juice, fresh pressed, not from concentrate, is another equivalent. The third weapon is Ceylon cinnamon honey tea. The Stanford research identified cinnamaldehyde, the active compound in Ceylon cinnamon, as a natural 15-PGDH inhibitor. This is a second front against the same enzyme. Steep 1 Ceylon cinnamon stick in hot water for 10 minutes. Do not boil the cinnamon. Heat above boiling destroys cinnamaldehyde. After steeping, add half a teaspoon of raw honey. The honey must be added after the water cools below 60 degrees Celsius. One critical distinction. Check your label. If it simply says cinnamon, it is cassia cinnamon. Cassia contains 250 times more coumarin than Ceylon. Daily consumption of cassia is toxic to the liver over time. Ceylon cinnamon is the only safe option for a daily protocol. The fourth weapon is bone broth. Once you stop the enzyme from destroying, you need to supply the raw materials for rebuilding. Type 2 collagen peptides provide the bricks for your chondrocyte to reconstruct cartilage. 8 ounces warm every morning. Source matters. Grass-fed, organic, slow-simmered for 12 hours minimum to extract maximum collagen. And if you have been drinking bottled orange juice thinking you are getting these benefits, I need you to hear this. You are not. In fact, you might be making it worse. Pasteurization destroys naringenin. Added sugars spike insulin, which increases systemic inflammation. You are drinking the problem disguised as the solution. The same applies to any carton juice. The processing strips the active compound. You get the calories. You get the sugar. You get none of the benefit. Adding dairy to your smoothie neutralizes the protocol entirely. Calcium binds to flavonoids before they reach your bloodstream. Milk in your citrus smoothie is pouring water into the oil tank. You are diluting the repair fluid with something your body cannot use. You have the protocol. You understand the science. But none of that matters if you do not picture what is on the other side. Now let me show you what this actually looks like. Picture tomorrow morning. You swing your legs out of bed. No negotiation. No grip on the doorframe. No countdown before you stand. You walk to the bathroom. Silent. Fluid. The knee does not talk back. The hip does not click. You descend the stairs without planning each step. You reach for the coffee mug on the top shelf without bracing. That morning shuffle from section 1. The one you felt when I described it. That shuffle does not have to be permanent. Your joints are not old. They are being sabotaged. And sabotage can be stopped. The 15-PGDH enzyme is not the only gerozyme Stanford identified. There is another one, attacking different tissue. Different organ. Same mechanism. Next week, I will show you the enzyme and APO's cousin that is targeting your brain right now. And the single spice, one you have definitely heard of, that shuts it down. Your neurons are listening.